Don't tell me they don't.
Okay, welcome to the Nameless One-Off podcast, maybe two off, three off, depends who's free and when. Uh, so I guess it's just before the holidays, so it's the first one we're doing, so we'll start with a quick team review, bottom up in the standings.
Some predictions for the weekend.
Oh yes, that's definitely to come. So what do we got here? Screen share. First off, we've got the Violent Violets.
Last place, yeah.
They are currently at 9 points, I believe.
That is correct.
Yeah. So could I just get a quick readout of their record?
It is 4 wins, 18 losses, and 1 overtime loss.
So in a rough spot with how many points are they at right now?
9 points.
9 points. So it's 18 points to make the playoffs.
Yep. So they're halfway there with 2/3 of the schedule almost done.
Oof.
They still got time. They still got time.
Yeah. So
what I will say, however, is that we're getting to we've been in these situations before where teams start worrying, is a team going to make the playoffs? And then winter comes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they had a pretty rough start to their season. Let's get the draft board up here.
They won the first game, from what I remember, against Paul.
That is correct. We just beat them for the first time on Saturday out of 3.
Oh.
Nice. Congratulations. Looks like the trade was worth it.
Yeah.
It was just for that game.
Yeah. So they started out with first round Chris Calhoun. That's the first time in a while. And then going for a goalie and not making a pick almost to the third and fourth swing.
Well, no,
that McTill pick is on this
in the draft. Spot. In the draft, they hadn't made the trade yet.
Yes, they had.
This one was
that was made during the draft.
It was made during the draft.
Yes.
So they pick Calhoun, they pick Frank, and they're in a spot where they're not going to get a forward until the 3-4, and they get to Alex's pick, which he had offered before the draft.
Yep.
Way ahead of time. And then he starts going, "Ooh, I think it's time." And pulls the trigger right before the pick to take much, Eric and Josh.
Okay.
Yes, like having 2 11th rounders right off the bat, maybe some questionable picks in the draft, like
that trade to trade for Alex's 2 and 3 was pretty much offered to everybody, I believe.
Oh yeah, it was an open offer.
Yeah. I think he was saying it openly during the draft to everybody who wants my 2, who wants my 3, right? And Seb's the only one who spoke up because nobody else was interested.
Also, yeah, a little insight on that. He was saying around the office there wasn't much a difference between the forwards in the second round and the fourth, so may as well.
Exactly where he's coming from is once you don't get one of those top heavy hitters, you realize that you're going to go more spread out in your offense.
Yeah, well, there was a drop off at the draft right before those picks, so like.
But ironically, after the trade was done during the draft, Alex was sitting right next to me, and he was kind of saying, And then he got to the fourth, and he went to Daryl, and he didn't know much about Daryl, right? So he wasn't sure what to do, where to do, and so where he thought he could get a lot of guys later.
He picked Manuk before,
yeah,
in the 4, which turns out to be like a colossal pick. Not so much for red before getting traded to yellow, but
yeah. Well,
picked
he had
Manuk
Manuk
over-
playing on D the whole time, and it's only since when he went to yellow he got put on forward.
Well, we did try him out on
I saw him play
forward, but then it was like he was like, you know, like when I play forward, I kind of play right wing, and
Oh, you already have a right wing? Is that it? Yeah, I guess that
Yeah.
play right wing.
There were positional issues on his team.
Anyway, back to purple. Like we'll get to red,
Late.
but yeah. So purple right off the draft, they had to make changes, and no surprise, there's been some changes.
So they won their first game, then went on a pretty bad losing streak from what I remember. I think they were like 1-13 or something, right?
If I go look at their, if you go, can you flip over to their game report in the stats?
Yes. So I go to stats and team stats.
Go to game report, the last one.
Game report.
Yeah.
And I can go to
Violets.
the
Violent Violets. So it's the second to last one.
Yeah, there we go. Thanks.
Yeah. So you see, win against us the first game, and then 1-2.
Oh,
They only won game 13, so they were 1-12. 1-11.
And then their next win was against you again.
Correct.
6-0.
And then we just flipped that this past week.
Was that pre-trade for Pierrick or?
That was the 6-0 was one of the first game, if not the first
Second
game.
they
Pierrick.
got Pierrick.
Yeah, I think that
Second
was.
game.
Yeah,
Okay, let's
because
see.
they lost the first game against Blue, which was expected, but they put up a good fight, which was surprising. And then they
Pierrick's in that game.
Yeah,
and
the only goal he scored for purple actually.
Before that,
He scored 2 goals for purple actually.
Oh yeah, he scored one against us before getting traded. Sorry. Yeah, that's true.
yellow, Pierrick was playing for them as well. So they lost to yellow.
That was the day before. No, that was the week before. Okay, so okay.
And let's see. Well, he's not going to be in the goals.
Well, I'm gonna go look at the transactions, and it's gonna tell us
Yeah,
when he got traded. Oscars transactions.
hard to say because they don't have.
He got
Neither
traded
of
on
them
October
got
26th. So that Saturday, he played for white, and then on Sunday the 27th he was playing for purple. That was his first game for purple.
Okay, and the 27th was okay. So that was the game against yellow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so 2 more losses and then they get a win, but yeah, then I mean look at the losses after they have Pierrick. I mean 6-3, not great. 6-0, like what's that?
7-3 loss, a 6-3 loss, the 6-0 win, and then 3-1 loss, 4-2 loss, 6.
But see these 3-1, the 4-2, it's getting closer, and then what are you gonna do? Al's on fire. And then 1-4 a little closer,
Beat.
then they beat us. What are you gonna do?
Holds in 3 consecutive games against 3 top teams.
Yeah. So I mean that's with Pierrick, that's part of their success.
But no one's
is that
arguing
trade,
about
right?
it. Just, yeah.
We'll also reserve comment on Tequila Mockingbird being top team, considering they're the next team on our list. But
at that point,
yeah,
they were higher up.
Yeah. So I mean, then the trade line was looming, and
I mean, he got
some people were desperate to make changes.
Seb gave up a lot to get Pierrick, but he also got a lot back for him in the trade back. The trade itself, I don't think it's bad. For both teams, it's a good trade, but I like it a lot for purple because they round out a little bit. They had a lot riding on just Pierrick alone.
Yeah, now Pierrick's playing with both.
Dave Monroe as an offensive defenseman and Kevin Cordell adding a bit of offense too, because it's a good mix.
My view as the other captain involved in the trade is that both teams were getting what they probably need. You know, he's giving up Pierre-Eric, but then he puts Jamie in the spot and that, you know, so it minimizes the loss. He absolutely wanted to upgrade his D, which is why Dave Monroe was
one of the better.
There was never a
Yeah, that's definitely
discussion.
gonna help him.
There was never a discussion without him. In other words, Seb pretty much told me if he's not part of the deal, this deal isn't happening.
Okay.
And Kev, of course, works with him too, so that's a little bit of connection there for him too, right? So he wants him there, and it gives him a little bit more scoring elsewhere as well, because Kev can score goals, obviously.
I
For
gotta say,
us,
I've always selfishly wanted to play with Kevin Cordell.
So have I.
Oh man, because I cannot make a pass, and he does not need a clean pass. That guy.
Nope, heard that shit out of
from my point of view on that trade, we were having chemistry issues and we had positional issues, which is why I made the comment before saying, "Oh, you guys have positional." We had positional issues,
I
right?
didn't feel like Black had positional issues.
As
lines.
Ole tried to tell me several times when he was trying to trade with me, we have 3 left wingers.
Wing preference is the last thing you look at. You look at defensemen and centers.
But
centers, 4 good defensemen.
We were having issues at the middle. Jamie was covering the position of center, but was not comfortable in that spot really.
Did you ever try Mathieu in the middle with him?
He is. Mathieu's line 2 center.
Mathieu has played, but they're the 2 centers.
That's why I'm like
no, but so like I don't know who your second line
every time we were missing a forward, I went up and played center so that Mathieu can play with Jamie and Frank, right?
Yeah.
Or
I thought Mathieu with Jamie and Frank would make sense as your first looking at your team.
Every time we could do it, we did do it. But the reality is that the way my team was built is that I almost had to be on D most. Remember, we're a very well attended team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sitting guys in order to put a 4-man line. So that means I'm a defenseman because there's nobody else up front other than Mathieu, who needs to be a center too, that can play D. So I have to be a defenseman.
Dave, Danny, and JP, you have 4 good defensemen that's like well split out where you don't need one guy eating too many minutes.
Yeah.
So that didn't hurt you guys. If anything, helped you.
And then on the other end too, for me getting the trade back is that I do fill that center spot with Pierre-Eric. Plus, I'm putting known chemistry back. Keep in mind that
that's extra value on Monaco when he plays with Pierre-Eric.
No, I'm not even talking about Monaco. Pierre-Eric played with Lanto last year. Lanto scored 13 goals. Pierre-Eric
with Frank.
Wolf. Frank Wolf. Jesus.
The 3 of them were aligned. Pierre-Eric, Frank, and Paul were aligned with Barney's Bastards 2 years ago.
They did good. Also,
and they went on a tear with that green team.
Yeah, the green team, Peaky Blinders.
Yeah.
Also, Frank and Pierre-Eric did really well with Klutz, but. So there's a lot of history there. I see it. That's why I think the trade is good for both teams. They both got what they wanted and needed.
Yeah.
For as well as we were doing defensively this year, I think we're 3rd in the league in goals against. Our offense was kind of sputtering. Like I think we're also
wasting Jamie's talent at center, where he has to actually focus on being defensive. Whereas Rick, it just happens.
Yeah.
It's just a byproduct of his game, whereas Jamie had to take away from his offense to play center with.
Yeah, I think one of his specialties, like watching him play, like he pulls a D to the boards and then just eats them alive. Like he moves so well laterally that like when he can play wing and bring someone to the boards and then just cut middle.
Yep.
Like
that helps.
You take yourself into like kind of not a great area as a center to try and do that. And you have to focus on a second part of the game, like so.
But I will give Jamie the utmost credit is that when he was at center, despite not being comfortable with the position, he did very well defensively.
But against better players or higher picks, it's great. It's when you're playing against teams that don't have as good a threat as Jamie that it becomes a bit of an issue because he's focusing on defense. But
if Jamie's covering me
more,
I'll take that all day.
Exactly. But against us, for instance, he would match up with me at center every time, and it was a great matchup for you guys.
like I said, if I could have put myself as a center full time, maybe the need for this trade wouldn't have happened. But that wasn't a reality I could do with our roster. So I felt I had to make some kind of move. Otherwise, we could have been more at risk of, well, we already made the playoffs, but I mean, in terms of maybe being in that wild card or something, right? Like, and we still are at risk, obviously, of that, but I feel we put ourselves in a better position to not be there, right? So,
well, so far from that trade, the records are, 0 goals in 2 games for one team and 500 for the other, like not 500 goals, but like a record of.
Well, Frank
like
wasn't there on Sunday.
Right?
Frank wasn't there on Sunday, right? But like just the first game back together, Frank and Pierre-Eric each had 5 points, right?
Yeah. That's chemistry just coming back right away.
Yeah.
It makes a big difference.
Eric hadn't scored in a long time, and or he had against us
natural hat trick.
But yeah, he got a hat trick in the first period, I believe.
Yeah.
That was kind of like a return to reality for him.
Yeah.
I swear, when we played against you guys Sunday, I was having like flashbacks when from the playoffs. You see, I'm just like barely getting my stick to him, and he shoots, and it goes off Tiva and goes in.
Yeah,
just like Ross tipped it in the playoffs. I'm going to pressure Pierre-Eric and just off of someone, and it goes in, and then I'm pressuring him. He gets a good post. Like I swear, I just lost one step, and he puts it on net post from like half. Like
he's been known to do that a couple hundred times over.
Yeah, he's a dangerous player from everywhere. Like so.
Looking at Purple. Now that they've done the second trade, and I think that there was a bit of a gelling issue this weekend, and like obviously the temperature, the weather, all that's a factor. I don't think that they're worse off after this trade, and I do think that they're going to be able to hit 9 points over the next 12 or 13 games, whatever it is.
Yeah, I truly believe that. I truly believe they will too, because that's, like I said before, winter is also the great equalizing thing. Plus, they gave themselves more depth that they didn't have before, right?
Yeah,
they now have that depth.
Guys like Maupetit and Josh.
Maupetit is really like the driving force of that team. He has been all year. Like
put up big goals, big plays, and now he's getting a little bit of reinforcements to play with. That's how you have to look at it, because they're spreading out more than just one guy. It's more like well-rounded. So the guys that have been holding the fort to the best they can, Seb and all that, like they're gonna have a bit of motivation within the game now when they play and they go change off. They know that there's more guys coming on.
Yeah, they got depth behind them. They got the defense now to help them move that ball up. You won't have to back check so hard back.
Yeah,
it's gonna help them for sure. 9 points, doable.
I think we close the book on Purple. Just
I want to know if you think they're gonna make it.
If I think they're gonna make it,
yeah.
Listen, I hope. I don't know. Nobody likes being on that team. Like, I'm not saying that's like over the years being on the even Paul's been on that team. He's captained it.
Oh yeah.
Dark side. Like no one wants to be on the team that has no one showing up, can't buy a win. Like. It's tough to see, so everyone wants them to pull it together, and
I've been on it a couple of times. I wasn't captain of it, but Red Eye Jacks I think was actually a worse team than Dark Side was.
That's before my time.
I'm going a ways back then, but I mean it's like the reality is the numbers at some point don't play in your favor. At some point you're going to be on a bad team if you're playing the league long enough, right? You're not always going to be on a good team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like Vass was on one like that too. Like was Blue Ballers? Blue Ballers? Yeah.
I was on two like that, but back then we didn't have the Dust Bowl.
Okay.
I was on Celtic Pride with back then when guys like me and Jimmy could be on the same team.
Yeah, I'll take it if you don't include Pylons in there.
Oh, well, yeah, that was also a Dust Bowl team. That's true. Yeah, I had a few.
But you know what? Since after we got you, it wasn't as much that situation. So
it was more of that situation. Kenny stopped showing up, and we lost a lot of games. You were in a good spot when you made that trade, middle of the pack.
Yeah, but we were 5 guys every game.
Yes, so maybe
maybe it felt like that before the trade.
Yeah. I remember
anyway,
you guys beating me on black before the trade, and I was like, "This is a good team."
But yeah, so anyways, for purple, I think they'll get their points. Good. I don't think it's going to be right away. I think it's going to be close to the end of the season, but I think they'll get their points.
It wouldn't be the first time we see a team come close to the wire to get those points, right?
Oh yeah, we've had one in the recent years.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't remember who it was.
I can't remember who, but I know we've seen it recently. And
was it not Hooligans, Nick? Maybe.
Yeah, I think it might have been us, Minky's team.
Yeah,
2 years ago. I think we were fucking close all year long. We couldn't get points until the last maybe 2-3 games. We finally snuck in.
Yikes!
2 years ago.
Yeah. It was a rough year.
Oof. So yeah, I think they're making it, Paul.
I think they're making it.
Nick?
Yeah, for sure. They're gonna push through, like Paul said.
Yeah, I'm also
not gonna be the bad guy.
Oh, they got it. Come on.
Well, I mean, if he truly doesn't think they're going to make it, it's okay to be honest. I just truly think they will make it. I don't think they're as bad as their record has been so far, especially now with a deeper roster. And winter is a great equalizing factor. Games will become closer. They might get that goal. Right?
If they put their guys in the right spots, they'll get some wins.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's good to close the book on purple there. So next up, Tequila Mockingbird, or as I like to call them, some White Snake Moan.
Great roster on paper. A lot of good names.
Yeah.
A lot of trades, so I don't know how the chemistry lines up with all that. A lot of different characters too, different opinions. Not everyone listens on that team, and the attendance isn't great. So it's obviously cost them in the standings recently.
Even when they've had attendance recently, I think that the chemistry has been an issue more than anything.
And as much as we rag on Ole, I think he has the expertise, the experience, and the knowledge on how to rein this all together and make it take shape and make sense. So,
yeah, I mean, I think they're in like their fuck up phase right now. They're like they've been fucking up. Their guys aren't showing up. People have vacations.
Yeah, we haven't seen Necto in a while.
Well, he was there on the weekend, but yeah.
He was,
yeah. I've been seeing Calahoo at the rink too recently, but I haven't been seeing them with much of a bench. So
no, they've been playing 5-6 guys almost every game, I think.
And sometimes even when they end up having that bench, they have a bunch of guys showing up late or last minute, and they have no warm-up time, and then they're jumping into a game, right?
Yeah, that was definitely the case when they played us.
Experience on the team, like it's not like you're jumping into something because you played 6 games together earlier.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think we've seen them full once.
Yeah,
but
the guy's got to show up.
Goalie, probably the strongest blue line in the league. Couple very good offensive weapons in Manny and Mekto. And then other really good complement pieces, Miles, Rank, and Tino. Like they're not on paper, they're good.
Yeah, hard-working team. Think about it. All these guys.
Yeah, I mean, if your worst forward is Brandon, you're a pretty good team.
Yeah.
Like I mean, he's like, I take it. Like,
Brandon's gonna see this, and he's gonna argue with you that he's not the worst.
I think he might have the best blue line in the league if you look at it individually between
he's gonna think he's better than Tino.
Yeah.
Glenn, Jesse.
Yeah, Calahoo, Jesse, Ole. That's not a fun blue line to play against with Johnny Rad and Nets. Like that's not fun.
Yeah, no. They
got trigger guys like Brian and Miles, and Tino. Those guys all specifically score goals.
Didn't Miles have a hattie on the weekend?
I don't know. I didn't see it because I wasn't
there. Shit.
Yeah, so they have it from different sources, and like Brandon's a proven playoff performer. Glenn knows what it takes. He won a Conn Smythe 29 years ago, so he knows exactly what it takes.
Okay. Like I think I think they're on a slide right now, but
slide, and they're not where they're supposed to be in the standings.
But they're a dangerous looking team on paper.
Well, they're second to last.
Yeah, second to last. Yeah.
Second to last. That's true. They're in the Dust Bowl right now.
We're getting to this point right now, though. Look at it. If you bring up the standings, Jay.
Yes, yeah. So
the standings are ridiculously close. Like they're currently in 8th, but they're not that far from being in the top part of the league, right?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering, how close it was to.
Yeah,
if you go into stats, or you can go there. Yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, if they win
See-
2 games and like they're 4 points off a third.
Yeah, or
so
fourth, but yeah, it's so
Home-
close. Anybody, every week, things can completely change, right?
Yeah.
Like
All
one
right.
seventh right now, and
Well,
we
anyways,
we
all
can
that to
climb up
say
to
that
fifth in one game.
that's not a team I would like to play coming out of the Dust Bowl. That's for sure. So I kind of hope they do move up in the stats because it's going to be terrifying if that team has an extra 2 games in playoff mode to get warmed up and get their swing going.
It'll be interesting to see too, whoever finishes in first place,
Was
how they
probably
pick
not
their
taking
opponent.
them.
yeah,
I mean, it would go. I would never take them. Well, I won't say never, but I don't think that at that point in time, if they run over Purple, I assume will finish 9th. I don't think you want to face a team coming out of the Dust Bowl with that kind of veteran experience on you.
yeah. Like I'm honest. I'm thinking about if Purple's not like if Purple goes to the Dust Bowl, like goes in the Dust Bowl, or if they don't make it, I don't see a great choice on the board here.
No,
Nope. Nope.
very good parody this year.
Yeah.
Okay,
So I guess we move all the way up to 23 points.
yeah,
Ace of Spades.
500 and sitting in 7th place out of 9 teams.
I don't think I've
wild.
ever seen that before. 500 at
wild.
7th place.
With 500 and like a decent, good goal differential, everything is fine. No fire, no panic, and they're in 7th place.
That's when you know it's a close fucking season. You guys
Yeah.
are fighting for.
That's very close. So let's look at their draft because that's the after trades.
Yeah, he wants to look at our
Inside.
draft. If you bring the draft board up.
Oh
instead
yeah,
of
the draft.
The original draft, yeah.
Okay.
Because this is a very Paul drafted team, very strategic. helping,
Yeah, this is a
cautious,
very he thought Ole was taking Jamie draft.
yeah.
No, actually, I knew he was taking Pierrick. I
Yeah?
did. Yes, I was aware.
But no, it's very not many risks. I was telling my captain to take JP in the 8 if he was available. Diva, I didn't know, but very well rounded, top goalie, like top forward. Everything's well rounded.
My
I'm actually
team.
surprised you guys are sitting at 500, given that you're 3-0 against us.
We did capitalize on your lack of attendance for those games as well, though. By the way,
Right.
We're at 500 because we lost 2 games to Purple, we've lost 3 to Red, and our wins are spread around the rest, right? So we've been competitive in most games, just that it often came down to losing by a goal or 2, and that's the way it goes. Sometimes we have to find a way to
Better
find
to
those
get
goals.
those out of the way in the regular season and
Yeah.
than to get either win by too much or lose by too much, then could get rattled in a close game in playoffs.
Yeah. As for your comment about JP, JP was my captain in Masters, so I was probably more familiar with him than anybody else, right?
I played against him for the last 15 years. He's
Yeah.
teams like
Yeah.
It's very steady, very good for the league, and
Yeah.
very like exactly what you're gonna get with JP. And he's a very good league guy too. Like he's still a little bit shy because he doesn't know everyone, but sticks around for beers, has a good time, really embraces it. I'm sure his attendance is immaculate.
Yeah, I mean, he missed the first game of the season because he got a tattoo.
He was there
after-
though. I'm pretty sure he was there.
Yes, he was there. He
There you
was
go.
there.
That counts for attendance.
Yeah, and he missed one other game, but that's pretty much he was always there all the other games.
He's gonna continue to be. I think.
Yeah.
Happy he finally came in. He should have been here 10
Yeah.
years ago.
Yeah, he even told me last week that he said even if MBHL comes back full force, he still intends on playing DBHL now
Yeah.
that he's been there. So
Yeah, I'd
Yeah.
asked him about that on the ring because I
Yeah.
like asking the NBHL guys that I'm just starting to see this year, like hey, you think you got the bug or what? Like,
Yeah, like it's funny, but I think guys like we'll get to them, but Manny and Jimmy, like I think they got the but even Gary, who we've been trying to convince for a decade.
yeah, Gary was like, you
Like,
guys are
I think he
stupid.
likes it.
Like he's not wrong. Like,
No, I saw him repping a game the other week. I was like, look, you didn't need to do that. You must
he's not even supposed to. They had to ask.
That's what I mean.
They
That's
had to
what I
ask
mean. It's after
permission for
Christmas.
him to be able to ref,
Yeah,
right?
well, there you go. So yeah, I think you guys are unfortunately, given how the pack is, are a middle of the pack team. But I personally, having lost you guys 3 times, would say you're a top of the middle pack team.
Anything
no,
can
there's
change.
it's a
going
scary
forward.
roster.
Yeah. Now,
Having a team that'll show up, you guys are almost 10 guys every game too. That helps. That helps having guys.
We're only going to be 9 on Saturday.
as good as that is, it's a little bit scary sometimes where you don't have an extra gear to get to in playoffs.
Yeah.
Be mindful of that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Listen, I mean, I know that come playoff time, there's there's 3 guys there that have not experienced DBHL playoffs, right? And there's a learning curve there too. There's several rookies in the year that in the league right now. They're going to go through that as well. So it's trying to prepare everybody for the battle that's coming as much as possible beforehand.
I don't think anybody's ever ready for DBHL playoffs.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Watch.
Yeah, you go from
That'll be
slipping
fun.
and falling on your ass right back to smooth surface again, and it's
Put on your ass.
yeah.
All right, so who's after black?
Okay.
Family
I believe
business.
it's orange, but I'll take a
Yeah,
look.
it is.
Family business. They've been
Yeah,
on a
family
tear.
business.
We should even pull up their game log.
Yeah. Let's see.
Stats.
Is it in schedule? It's in stats.
That
It's easier to see in stats.
Okay. Stats, team stats.
No, stay in the games report. You were already gonna go back to
I
it.
was already in it.
So it's
Son of
family
a
business. In the middle.
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay, so yeah, they had a tough start there.
Uh,
1 win in their first
where do I
5
put
games.
this? All right. Sorry. Try and get your faces on here somewhere.
Yeah, they're all over the place. Then they're
Yeah, and they got points in 6 straight right now, but they had a 4-game losing streak, a 3-game losing streak, well, 2 4-game losing streaks. Yeah, it's hot or cold with them, I guess.
Look at all those overtimes.
I was just thinking the same.
Yeah.
Overtime win.
There's a tie in there.
Okay.
There's 2 ties in no, just 1, sorry, okay. Oh no, 2, that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they tied us 1 time.
Yeah, they have 2 ties.
But yeah, they've been picking up their wins to start passing teams. So
Well,
especially with the
4
4-point weekend.
Yeah.
So, and I heard. Let's see, this game.
A 4-point
Got
weekend right now.
the
by
rookie
way.
had was on every goal.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
no.
what good, and I checked
Oh,
his
he
stats.
didn't get it.
Yeah. Paul,
Little
No,
stat change request.
That's not a no.
On
That
that
was
one.
that was Big Al's goal. I was the ref.
no, but I think it's
The
when we
assist.
got to the rink. Tyler
No,
told
no,
me
no,
on
I
all
called that
6.
goal. It went to Gio off a shot. Gio gave it to Big Al, and Big Al shot it down the rink. There's
Oh,
no
okay.
second assist on there.
Okay. Because I thought he said he had 3 and 3.
Well,
So-
Ty told me when I got to the ring, Ty told me he had 6 on 6. So I assumed that too.
Yeah. But I hadn't seen the game, so
I
take
was
your
the
word
ref who
for it,
called
Paul.
those points. so-
Tyler's usually pretty credible with that stuff.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess 5 out of 6.
Yeah. Either which way, I think he's the factor that kind of changes, balances their stuff. Because now that he's arrived officially, he's been putting up a lot of goals, hat tricks, points. They're doing well.
Well, to my knowledge, too, at
Yeah.
the start of the season, he was actually playing hurt to start the
Hurt
season. So,
ankle. Apparently, he had a hurt ankle.
so to play hurt and be a rookie in the league, he's learning how to play and playing hurt at the same time. It's going to affect your performance, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's good physically, but he's not the biggest guy, right?
No, for sure. For sure.
He can
And,
take a hit, but he's not going to be like bodying guys and moving guys around. So there's obviously an adjustment period where like,
Super
Wherever-
nice guy to a fault, maybe.
yeah, that's the thing. He needs to make his space. He needs to find out that he's allowed to stand his ground and hit guys.
Mhm.
But I feel like he has the ability to do it. It's just a slow little transition that he has to get to.
Yeah. But he's a good player for sure.
Great player, and
Sure.
it's starting to show a lot, and it's directly showing in the standings for them. Because Ty's doing Ty things as usual.
Yeah.
He's great.
Talking about
Having a guy
holding?
that'll run for
Holding?
him, it helps him.
He needs the help, right? Sometimes
Uh-huh.
he can't be everywhere defensively, offensively, score and pass. So he needed that trigger guy, and Dylan's really stepped up. I find over the last 2 months.
What about their other rookie there?
Dave, it's an attendance thing. He lit us up when we tied them. He scored 2 goals, I think.
Yeah, because he I think he's good. Like when I played
Great,
against
but
them, he played great. So when I played against White, he played great.
I don't know what the story is, but he's something of a phantom. I mean, the guy had 3 or 4 points the first game of the year, and I was like, oh, this guy got a lot of points. He's gonna want to play every game and be,
Yeah.
He's been hit or miss. Haven't really interacted with him.
He has his attendance is a bit spotty. Even when I played with him at Masters, though, his attendance was I was only a spare on that team, and I played more than half season because they were always missing guys, including he was one of the guys that missed several games then too.
I had no
Right?
idea he even played Masters. This was within the last year,
Last summer.
like the summer that just passed.
Yes, that's right. Yes.
Did he attend games in the Masters?
That's crazy because I played Masters.
That's what I'm saying. He missed games, right? So
Yeah.
Oof. Maybe Tyler knows the attendance thing, but
Yeah.
very effective player when he's there.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think he's built more for our game than he was for the Masters kind of game. With his size, his ability to play a little bit more physically, he can go to the net and can use that physicality to his advantage more than you can in when he was playing at Dome all the time. It's a bit different, right? You have to cover more space and everything.
Yeah, and it's less. Yeah,
and he doesn't bite. Like I was doing some unsportsmanlike things on the boards, and he just played through it.
Like a champ.
Yeah. Didn't do anything to hinder his team. So
their other rookie also I found has gotten a lot better recently. Wow, that's a lot of rookies. Between the goalie and Chris and Dylan and him.
I think Gio is a great addition to the league.
Yeah.
You're bringing up league guys like you were talking about JP before. Gio is definitely a league guy. He is all about the league. Yeah. I get multiple messages from him all the time asking questions about the league, asking what he can do, stuff like that. He's a league guy.
Keeping the chat active.
Big time.
He donated a barbecue.
Very good find.
Yeah.
A brand new barbecue he donated for a prize, right? Like
yeah.
He's a great guy, stand-up guy.
Yes.
Yeah. Maybe butterfly. I don't know.
All that said about Orange, though, they're not a fun team to play against.
Yeah.
Look at it.
Yeah, no. Like I mean,
think of
last
you having
year,
the ball and then think of who they have.
Last year, I remember playing against like a similar Tyler team, and like they might not win all the time, but you don't want to play against them.
No, you're not having fun. I went 5 games against that similar Tyler team in the playoffs. The Big Al and Tyler and
you have a guy like Sharif that's there. Have fun with him.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so a guy you don't want to fight in the playoffs. He's definitely going to take you down.
There's a reason he has what is it?
And all that.
Sharif has what 5
hammer
cups?
blocking.
Yeah, 5 cups. Yeah,
that's
one less than Alex.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think they're a middle of the pack team, but I think they've kind of reached their peak there. They can't keep like right now they're on a 6 game.
Yeah, they're gonna float around the same spot.
I feel like they're gonna kind of do for a little bit of a losing streak because it's been a while since their last 4-game losing streak. But they've at least figured things out, so it's not going to be a 4-game losing streak. Like they're going to lose 1 or 2 and then get back on the horse and be okay and float around that area.
Okay. I think we could close the book on
just one last note on Orange.
Yeah, sure.
We have to make Hammer up for a game. Just mic him up and we could put put that out.
Yeah, slap the GoPro on him.
What kind of batteries you got on that thing?
Yeah. I think Gio's got a GoPro for him.
Maybe the extra charge pack. It's gonna every time that mic activates, drain the battery.
All right. Who do we have next? Is it Yellow? Yeah. We've got Code Yellow.
Yeah, they're scary.
They've been on fire.
Jimmy Alex up front.
They've been on fire with bad attendance for the most part. Just so much offense coming out of the Jimmy and Alex.
Yeah.
Those two definitely play amazing together.
And it's rookies,
Yeah. I just on the note about attendance, I feel we should show something because we brought up attendance a few times.
I noticed it this week.
The man games played.
Yes.
If you Jay, if you go into the stats.
Yeah.
Go into
Now,
team
Okay.
stats.
Want to put a little asterisk there
stats.
because there
Yeah.
is like,
The last column.
attendance isn't perfect, right?
The last column?
Last column, sort by it.
Okay.
MGP.
And games played.
9 games played. Look down at the bottom. Code
Sorry.
yellow and blue collar badasses with
Okay.
the
Yeah.
worst attendance in the league.
Right? Like, I feel
Jeez.
it. I feel it.
Yeah,
The amount of games we played 5 and 6 it's ridiculous. We're having a hard time with attendance. For
We're
sure.
middle of the pack? Holy shit.
yeah, but by 9, like that.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, like we're right there too. So is White.
And us and Orange are
Like,
running
it
away
doesn't
with
feel
it.
like we're middle of the pack. Jesus.
No. Even like when you look at teams like Green, you're like, oh, they're often pretty short. Or Purple. Somehow Purple is third in attendance.
Oof.
That's crazy. I didn't realize we were at the bottom. That's rough.
You know
Yeah.
what? I was saying before, like, oh, one of those bottom teams where no one shows up. They're doing all right in attendance.
Yeah, we're doing it. Yeah,
No excuses, Seth. Fuck.
Looking at this tells us that the attendance is having zero to do with team records.
Hey,
Yeah.
if
It doesn't
anything,
make
it hurts.
Yeah, it hurts to have more guys.
Jeez.
So
That is
next, I believe, I guess, would be Green. Oh no, yellow. We're on yellow.
We haven't
Yeah,
really
we're-
finished
still on
talking
yellow.
about them.
Yeah. So,
What about their
They have a
draft?
lot of
How did
goals.
their draft go?
hey, something up with this goddamn glitchy website.
All right, so this is the current roster.
Yeah. So it's the current roster. Hey,
They
Go
were
to
still with the
draft.
draft too because they had a Mark Landry.
yeah, that was a trade that ended up really benefiting both teams. Like people say that, and they don't mean it. But,
that,
like,
there's no arguing that. for
Yeah,
this.
it helped us both for
Yeah.
sure. Like Alex when he started playing right wing, like Manuk when he started playing right wing on yellow, he lit us up. Like
Not just you. If you go look at the stats that he's put up for just yellow,
Oh yeah, I looked at this last night with somebody actually. Can you go into the stats, please?
he's got
Yeah.
like 25 goals in 9
It's
games.
crazy.
Yeah,
okay,
he's averaging over 4 points a game.
Go into the player
and
and
goalie stats.
And then
Then
do
go
by
by
team.
team.
By team,
Okay, by team.
and then type in Manuk's name.
Well, you don't need to type it. He's right there.
Yeah.
No, but you see both of them side by side though is what I want to say.
Oh, okay.
Type in his name.
Okay.
Yeah, point a game for red, 7 points in 7 games. And on yellow, he's got in 12 games, 42 points, 23 goals. 3 hat tricks,
Fuck.
power play goals, 3 game winners. Like that's
Yeah. So like it was a
3.5
couple
points
games
a game.
experiment. One game he played center, one game he played left wing for us, and then there was a trade. Other than that, he played defense for 5 games.
which is still good numbers for defense.
Yes.
But yeah,
Yes.
back to yellow.
But he'd come in and he kind of wouldn't go back. Like, you know, we didn't have a stay-at-home defenseman. It was going to be him, and he didn't like stay at home. So
Yeah.
yeah. So
need
and
to
just
fucking
You
play
can't tell
what
me
you want.
Landry stays home though.
Landry is not playing defense.
Oh, he's not playing D. Okay.
No.
Landry's been
That's
playing with
made
Alex
a big
and Dennis,
difference.
been doing well.
Sorry, player and goalie
Close to 2 points a game.
stats overall. Oh yeah, I still haven't typed in here. So I mean, you know, 6th in scoring. So
Having missed games, he's the only one under 20 on that page that we're seeing right now.
yeah,
Look, they have two guys in the top scorers, and they're both
4th in
rookies.
goals. So
Tied for third.
Like they have they have Jimmy as
Oh,
a
yeah.
rookie and 3rd overall, and they have Manuk was 6th overall when you go by points.
Mhm.
It's
So-
two rookies on the team. Look, there was Manny there as a rookie also at 4th overall.
yeah, Manny slipped in the draft. I gotta say,
Nobody had ever seen Manny and Jimmy not play together.
Yeah.
that's true. That's true. And like nobody thought that Seb was letting Pelts go through in the draft. So
Yeah.
we thought Manny and Jimmy were playing together. So
Yeah,
Misha talked to me about some things before, and I kind of knew that Peltz was going to probably be with him.
okay.
I wasn't surprised when he made the pick. I think he felt he needed to have a defenseman there, right? Because then he has to pick himself
I'm not
afterwards.
surprised that he picked Pelts.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that it was an option. Like, I'm surprised he was available when the second round came to Mish.
You look at what went in the draft beforehand.
It was him picking. It was Seb picking Frank that pushed everyone's mock draft pushed down the board.
But then the other than Frank, the other picks beforehand were Nick, John Riggs, Chris Callahan, all defensemen also, right? So then it all becomes, what defenseman do you prefer?
Mm-hmm.
And so, I mean, everybody has their views on that. Obviously, none of them viewed Peltz as their top option in consideration.
we would have it.
So, sorry,
but we didn't.
Yeah, you had to go pretty far down to get your second.
Well, I mean, last year we traded to have me and Peltz be together.
Yeah,
and it didn't pan out. But if there was a scenario to have that without having to trade for it, it would have been nice.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Okay. So sorry, I'm just gonna get back to the team, the roster. Okay. So this is draft roster. So their first move was it was Mark and Phil for Alex and Daryl.
Yeah, which worked out very well for both teams.
Yeah. And even if you look at it as Mark and Phil for Manuk and Turkey, because he got flipped 1-for-1.
Yeah,
it's still a good deal.
Yep, it's still good.
Yeah, so yeah, like that helped us big time. So like, and obviously Alex is on a tear. So
yeah.
So let's see that they made a. Was their only other deal the?
That was the only two deals they made.
Okay. So yeah, hey, there we go. Yeah, they're a team that like I feel like if you're having an off game, you're losing. They're like a very structured team. If you don't play well defensively, you're getting lit up. They're like a big passing team.
Yeah, they don't mind trading the goals.
Mm-hmm.
They don't mind high scoring. They're comfortable with it.
Yeah, and if you start getting physical up front with them, they start putting Peltz up front, and that's over. Like
they have that versatility, right?
Shutting that down real quick.
Yeah, that's what happened with us. It became a different game as soon as they put Peltz up front with Alex. Like
it's like they're Mish, but as a team.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Yeah. Yes, that's a team to watch. I think Gary and Jimmy are adjusting well to the league. I haven't seen Nico around much.
We took 2 penalties on him last time we played.
You took 2 penalties on him?
I took 1 and Mike Perron took the other.
And it probably should have been the other way around.
Well, yeah. I didn't get it.
Man. This kid trips me, I fall into him, and I get a deuce. And then I watch someone else suffer the same fate, like the next weekend. But I don't know, just watch the stick, Nico.
With their roster, though, yeah, okay, you could say again they have Nico who's small, but look at some of the size they have, especially on D. When you have Peltz and Gary and Turkey back there, right? Like
yeah,
that's a lot of size on defense, right?
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah, he'll get adjusted to the league too once he plays the season, if he's gonna play some more.
Yeah, and their supporting cast, like they've got guys like Huchka's I mean for 9, That's
Yeah.
about as high as he goes there, but like still a solid player. Denis, I think too at 8 is as high as he goes, but still like, you know, he does his job. AJ at 7 maybe high, but you know, he's doing his job.
He stuck an A on AJ, and AJ's been playing really well, and it was clear that he was going to have a versatile role to kind of fill whatever they need at whatever given time. Because
actually, you look at this year's 7, and that's it's
a returning.
It's fair.
Too. He's fresh. He doesn't have league fatigue right now. He's like happy to be there. He's not mad at anyone. He's not, you know, like there's no Jimmy to poke him. Like he's happy AJ, and there's no. I think that's a good pick there.
Yeah, I think you're right. Actually, yeah. Okay, I think we're gonna have to start rushing through some of these teams now. Yeah.
So okay. After yellow is green.
After yellow is green. Okay. What happened?
Well, they're a perennial middle of the pack team. That is like the definition to me of a middle of the pack team. Not weak anywhere, not excessively strong anywhere, but that's mostly because Trev misses games.
Okay, yeah.
Some games.
Yeah, I think Smitty broke his toe recently.
Oh, yeah, Smitty was on the sidelines on the weekend watching and not playing. So
I mean, yeah, I'd like to say I'm surprised, but
yeah.
Shit, still shitty to hear. I hope.
Yeah, for sure. You just gotta watch out getting out of the bath, right?
It could have been anything.
But you have Ryan Trev there, and that makes a whole different fucking game for green, right? Like,
well, that's the thing, right? Like Trev doesn't always make all the games, and that's a big factor. If he were, they'd be higher up in the standings.
I was just talking about the size that yellow has on defense. Look at the size they have up front.
That McKnight.
Yeah. Oh yeah, big time.
Trev and Ryan, yeah, it's a lot of size. Yeah. But not a lot of experience if you look at it another way between Ryan McKnight, Eric Chacha, Ben Harris, Daryl, Alex McKnight, Darren Aveline. That's like
one of those is a champion, but
two of those.
Alex McKnight, yeah, I didn't play that year. Yes, you're right. Again, sorry.
We're not the most defining factors in their championships.
No.
But you're right, it is experience.
Well, Darren for Brian. Come on.
Yeah, he was your 11th round pick when you won.
We won the cup when we replaced him.
As a committee member who approved Darren coming in for that spot, we had said if somebody needs to be replaced, they have to choose from the rookies that were cut.
Listen,
you now can't say, "Oh no, he's too strong. He got cut." He was, so I knew it was too strong, but you can't not approve it. Plus, it's a guy we wanted to get in the league in the first place.
Last year, the orange team there, Clusterfucks, they had no one showing up. This guy was subbing for them. Like,
yeah, that's not the issue. No, there's no issue.
Yeah, he replaced after having like 5 games played. He was putting in his time.
Paul voted yes, and then got swept in the finals as a result. So yeah. I mean, if anyone's mad, it's him, right? So.
I still another good addition to the league, right?
I mean, that is a champ day, but that's 6 playoff games.
By the way, you have to separate as a committee member, or you should separate as a committee member what's best for the league and what's best for your team.
Yeah,
right?
I agree. Yeah, I didn't complain when Darren was brought in. I like Darren, so it wasn't like I already thought Black was strong, but you know me, like I won't not have a guy Ings. I'd rather just Darren's really good for the league. He fucking very pleasant refs, like he embraces it. So like take it on the chin ever so often when it's not to your advantage, but grand scheme of things, very happy he's there.
Yeah, he's a guy who doesn't mind playing his role, and he plays it well. So I'd have him on my team any day of the week.
6 playoff games, Jay. That's the experience he has. I don't even know how many regular season games he had last year. It might be less than 6.
Yeah, but yeah, no. Like in terms of experience, yeah, I'm messing with you, but.
They're gonna fall to lower half of the middle of the pack.
I think they were pretty solid at the beginning of the year, and I think they can come back and start playing again.
I think attendance is becoming an issue for them, but particularly attendance from the top, right? That's the thing.
Yeah, but I mean, if Ryan's healthy after the holidays and Trevor starts making some games, they can turn the ship around.
Trevor's
Danny too. Danny's hurt.
Oh, he's missing games. Trevor's perennially a 26 to 28 games played kind of guy. He'll miss games all the time, no matter what.
I still need an explanation from Danny about how being hurt allows him to play as a player, but not as a goalie.
But the way you move your knee as a goalie is very different from the way you move your knee as a winger.
Yeah.
As long as you don't fall on the ice.
It probably
My
wasn't
biggest
worth the
worry for him,
risk,
but
but he probably you don't have to get up in butterfly when you play as a
I just
winger.
think about the impact on the surface the running does to your knees. I don't think it helps if you have a knee issue.
It depends what the issue is.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it was
Depends how
a
much you
scrape,
run.
like a cut.
Yeah.
But
So
I see them continuing to drop a bit.
Yeah.
I would disagree on that, but I think it's fair.
It's given. It's because I'm looking at the other teams. It's not them.
Yeah,
that
yellow,
are
right?
bad. It's more like the other teams have hit their stride, and them it feels like the opposite.
Yeah, it's like the way the trend is going right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can see that. Okay, so if we're rushing,
Off the blue.
we're at blue already.
Yes, we
Okay.
are.
Okay, so I'd say what happened, but it's kind of
Yeah.
evident.
We already showed
Been
the
an ongoing
attendance.
issue.
Yeah.
And they're
Starting to
still
be an
winning
issue.
some games. They still beat Black, I believe, on the weekend.
No, they didn't play us this weekend.
No, we played Orange.
Orange. Wow.
Yeah, we beat Orange.
Not bad at all.
Yeah.
So yeah, haven't made a trade all year.
Nothing.
You guys
I
started
tried.
with
We tried looking for Nick Hacking. They didn't. No, that didn't. No.
By the way, you didn't beat Orange this weekend. You beat White this weekend.
Yeah.
Oh,
White.
it's white. Yeah, that's true. Thank you.
Orange hasn't lost in 6.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, you like right off the draft, you guys started with you and Riggs, and then went for a
Me and
goalie.
John.
So
Yeah.
Solid defense right off the bat.
Not the scariest team off the draft. I was like almost worried for you guys at first.
Several people were saying that they didn't know who was going to score for this team.
Yeah.
Uh,
and one of the highest scoring teams.
Yeah. So everybody can eat their words, myself included. So that's fine.
and honestly, it was like the idea was like, oh, well, you're gonna rely on 2 offensive defensemen, and I mean, until like you got hurt in a game and then John got hurt, you guys were winning. Like the losses didn't start until then.
But they started losing.
Nick, I don't know if I specifically said this to you at the Rick. I know I said it to at least a couple of people, but right now you should definitely be in consideration for league MVP right now.
Yeah, not just Norris.
I don't know how. I don't know how, because I'm not relying on me. I'm giving it to the guys up front, right?
To me, I look at your team. I look at where your team is and who's running the engine, and it's you running the engine.
Yeah, because even Steph his attendance is lower than usual, and you know that superstar rookie somehow you guys got in the 9th round, Claudio.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, Claudio's definitely killing.
Oh yeah, Claudio's a steal. Yeah.
Yes.
He's been hurt. I asked Steph the other day. I'm like, how, who, what, how, you know? And it turns out Riggs just saw him in tryouts, and that was it. No one knew before. They just saw him in tryouts. Say, yeah, that guy's not bad.
But that became the answer to who's scoring for us. Yes, Gillis is doing what Gillis does, and
even more so than usual. Gillis is really good this year.
Yeah.
Yes.
Gillis is having fun this year. He was telling me. He was just saying it's one of the better years I've had because I'm not relying all on him.
Yeah.
The difference is that in the last little while, Gillis has been a guy that would be one of the top goal scorers in the league, but also be playing on the second line. So nobody knew what he was going to do when he's now all of a sudden the man to score, right?
Yeah. Well, I think also you have a team that lets him be an individual player, because like you don't really want that guy who's going to try and do it all himself on your first line with someone waiting on the side, like, hey, pass the ball.
No, he plays with Leo and he plays with Phil. You know what I mean? Like, you guys are gonna grind for him and rush with him.
So you don't mind that kind of play where it's just drive to the net, score. Like every time a ball pops out, shot. Like it's dangerous. Like
and having the strong defense to often feed him the ball helps a lot too.
For sure,
he's good at bringing the ball into the zone, and you guys are good at holding the blue line once the D is trying to clear it out of their zone. So he's already in the offensive zone. You guys send it back in, and that's when he does a lot of his damage.
Yeah.
Good and tight, good touch, good release, quick. Like that's way better.
For sure, you came out with a team that like there's something that works there for sure.
chemistry. I mean, sometimes you're putting guys together that pretty much have not played together for the most part, and you don't know what that chemistry is going to be. Well, it clicked, right?
Yeah, and I mean, Leo, there's been attendance issues, right?
Yeah, but it recently has been better because I think it was work related, and now as of December he's clear. Like he was there on Saturday.
Oh,
he's gonna be here for the rest of the year too, which is gonna help.
Yeah, exactly. Like
Okay.
him, it was known. I think it was like as of this date, I'm getting better attendance.
Yeah, I didn't see him at the rink, and then one game, like right before our game, you guys were going off the rink, and I heard someone say like, "What's going on with fucking Leo, man?" And then Phil was like, "Oh, I'll talk to him," you know.
Yeah.
So, but
yeah, I think you guys overachieved the start, but really it turns out it was your normal.
Yeah, now we just need the guys to show up
with injuries.
It's
kind of coming a little bit lower, but I still think you're going to finish top 3.
Yeah, I think so too. Okay, so onto the camo.
Yeah, weapon.
That team.
Okay, let's look at this weird team.
Them too, no trades.
No trades, baby. No trades. Couple rookies. Family member rookies.
So Mike, you have Mike playing forward?
No, Mike's been defense.
No, he plays.
He's been
with
deep?
Matt.
Yeah.
Okay. Has Cresta been showing up?
So they're a bit of a split. Cresta's has better attendance this year than usual, but
Okay.
he works half the time. So like he's taken a few days off work to come, and he's had pretty good attendance considering.
Okay.
But it's that I find this year he's even better than all the other. Like he goes unnoticed, but he's like peaked right now. He's to me, he's one of the top defensemen in the league right now.
Okay.
Like, people forget that he's there, and then
to get him there, not bad. Like
yeah. So like when we have him, both Mike's and Matt on defense, like we're very.
I think Matt's doing well as a D.
Yeah, very well. Only getting better too. And like you know what? I thought about it. I'm like maybe he might transition to forward later on. Maybe not this season, but like this season on defense, learning the game is what's going to be instrumental for him to get better moving forward. But you see it every game. Oliver and I have been talking about it like separately.
Yeah, especially like you don't know what to expect. He's coming back. Like last time he played, he had knee problems. He's coming back bigger. He used to be a winger.
It was a decade ago last time he played, and like 50 pounds ago probably.
Yeah.
First year back as a defenseman, he's doing surprisingly pretty well.
Yeah, in a position
really
he's almost never played. Like
we noticed
caught on to it.
Oliver, we say it every game is getting better, and like he's also like, I know Matt, and he's putting the effort to make it to the rink. Like sometimes he wakes up and he's like, I gotta go, and he makes it. He's hydrated or whatever, and he's he's like, I made it, and then we're like, and he ends up pulling out an amazing game.
Every time I've talked to him, he seems like he's really enjoying being here, right?
I think it's good for him for sure.
Back in the day, he would have been closer in Lachine and missed games. Now he's further in LaSalle, and he's making the.
Unreal.
So far away in LaSalle.
No, it is because it's geographically close, but to get to a highway it's a pain in the ass. Like it ends up being at least a half an hour drive.
It's underneath Montreal. LaSalle is definitely like. You have to get somewhere before you can get somewhere when you're in LaSalle.
And where he lives too, he's not right next to the highway. It takes a little bit of time, and he can take Lakeshore the whole way, but that's easily 25 to 30 minutes.
And that is my benefit, despite it being far away. I'm right next to the highway, so it's all I get right on, and I'm on my way.
Jamie E took. What the fuck, man?
What a steal.
Oh my god.
The hands
unreal.
Like no, but and
I don't know where this guy's going next year.
Find is
sleeper pick maybe.
Yeah, it's just too bad that he missed a couple games, and he's gonna miss a couple more.
The rookies are not eligible to be a sleeper pick.
They're not. No. Yeah, no.
Rookies can be, but no, I find that all of our picks have tremendous value to them or are overachieving. You look at Toby, Frank, like they're so good this year. It's crazy.
Yeah, I don't think you guys have anyone that you could have moved this year. Like
we were approached for trades, and I'm like, no, we don't have anything we need to address. Our team is good.
Yeah, I mean, guys are doing their job. Like you're not going to send them somewhere else.
No, and it was just maybe attendance sometimes, and it's like timing of attendance where like one game will be 5, the next game will be 9, and it's like or one game we're missing both mics. So we got to drop Oliver or me on D, because at the beginning of the year I was playing D a few games. First game I started on D. So we made a transition where we put Toby and Oliver down the middle. I went on the wing, and
Oh, it's made the difference. You up front, Jude.
yeah, and I was
Dangerous.
playing center also, but it was different. Like the changes were different. Oliver was hurt a lot too. He was there and on the bench, and he got credit for some games, but he didn't play those games. He was getting his water on the bench.
he's back.
The attendance all depends on if the timekeeper is actually right.
Yeah,
down.
Yeah, no, and I didn't mean it as criticism. I just mean like he was there, but you might have seen him, but he's actually hasn't played that many games. Like there was a stretch of games where missing him, Mike, Toby had a few games in a row he was missing because of a trip. Like the guys
that ends up being the
when we
case with
miss,
Oliver with
Yeah.
like his reoccurring back issues.
Exactly, but he rested out long enough that now he's knock on wood there. He seems to
Yeah.
be-
And he's not the type
Yeah,
of
he's playing
player
really
that can play with a back issue. Like,
No, the way he's got one speed and it's
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But I feel like he does a good job of like he knows when to sit it out to make sure he's ready again. You
Yeah.
know?
And what about Frank
Yeah,
this year?
Oh yeah, Frank against us, and then like normal against every other team.
Yeah. He told me he scored most of his goals against Steph.
Yeah, so like he's got 6 goals against us, and let's take a look at the stats here.
He's got 8 or 9 total.
Yeah, so
No, but he's doing like he's getting better every year. And like what I meant was where we got him, just the damage he does that doesn't affect the score sheet sometimes, Like,
No, it's his work in the back there that fucking makes a difference. Frankie will
scroll up
pressure
a
you
bit,
and keep
scroll
it
up a
on,
bit.
man.
Keep going up, Jay. You're in the wrong side.
up, okay.
Yeah.
Am I?
Yeah.
He's right there. 27.
Right there.
LeBlanc.
Right?
9 goals. He has 6 against us at least. Holy shit.
No, we've only played you twice. He has 5 against you.
He
15
had
assists.
a 2-goal game against us and a 4-goal game against
No,
us.
three. You beat us.
I'm pretty sure he
4-3.
got 4 against us.
You beat us 4-3, so he couldn't have had 4.
Okay, fair.
But yeah, no, he does have. You're right. 5 out of 9 goals are against you guys, but he's also got the 15 assists, which a lot of that is he beats a guy out of the corner, sends it in
Yeah.
front, near Tariq put it in. So
And I mean, he's doing his job. Like
Very
he's
well.
he's getting in front of the net. Like when you have the ball. Like so.
Yeah, and I was watching tape the other day, and you kind of see him show up, and then you hear Big Al and Tyler. They're like, "Oh, here comes Aquaman." Oh, never a good fight when you're the other team. And it's like he
Nope.
has that factor about him now, that like sort of Peltz-ish factor where you're like, "Oh, this guy's going to be a problem today.
Yeah.
Whether he deeks me or not, he is going to be a problem."
Mhm.
He's not gonna lit up on you and just give you the ball.
No.
You know?
He's
Frankie's
gonna
gonna
move him,
chase
and
you.
he's going to move you. So
Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, that's about all I got to say about our team.
No, you guys got a good stack team too. Man.
To your comment about not making any trades, you have a well-rounded team, so you didn't necessarily need to make a move. You have everybody in the right position. Everybody.
Exactly.
So unless somebody was
I think
offering you a
everyone's
steal,
like a good value pick other than
Every
Mike
single
Perra,
one.
but
Hey, he's been really good this year too.
in a
We have him
captain's
there. When him and Mike are there, I don't think we've lost the game with both of them there. Like
in a captain's
solid
mentality, though, if you even if you feel you have everything you need, you always listen, because you never know when somebody's going to
Yeah, but-
offer you something that.
and I hope I don't get kicked in the shin for this later, but a lot of the movable pieces on our team we're close friends with. So
yeah,
like,
well, yeah,
I'm
no,
gonna exchange
like
2 quarters or 4 quarters for $1 and it not be as close of a friend. You know what I mean?
yeah, exactly. You're gonna trade something that may or may not work, and then you're not playing with your buddies anymore. Like it's
Yeah.
not worth it.
And guys who you already have chemistry with too. You
Yeah,
played with
I'd
half of
rather
these guys,
I'd
right?
rather
So-
lose with those guys than win with guys I don't like. Also, so
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got married at your cottage, but you're gonna be playing on blue next week.
And blue wouldn't even be that bad. It would be purple, realistically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you can make all the comments you want about, it's all business and there's nothing again. Like the reality is you don't want to trade guys that you get along with, and
Well, especially it's not business, right?
Yeah,
Like-
exactly.
It's leisure. It's leisure.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yes, but we are all one league, and there is
Yeah.
no animosity when you trade somebody normally. I've never traded out anybody out of on animosity.
Yes, no, of course, but it's
Yeah.
just like the deals that we would get wouldn't
One
be
for one for
wouldn't
Dan Repper.
counter what what we're losing as far as the interpersonal level.
That was my worst trading season ever, Jay.
Yeah, I know. Peter Carter went up to me later and he's like, "What is he doing?
Great White,
We were winning."
Great White.
No,
Yeah.
we weren't winning. We were bottom half. We weren't winning.
When
Yeah, Paul wouldn't make a
before
trade
the
if he's
trade, I
winning.
think we were winning.
No,
Before you
we
traded me
weren't.
1 for 1, I think we were winning.
I believe we were always like we were always middle to lower or whatever
Okay.
we ended up finishing in 5th,
I mean,
but that I that was my 3rd season captain coming off a cup, and
that Great
I
White.
didn't.
That's true. I forget that my rookie year was your first time captaining.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I had it, yes, my first year as a captain, I also made one big trade. Vassal was part of it. But I hadn't had much experience in trading, right?
Mhm.
And I was trying to find some chemistry that obviously wasn't working out somewhere, right? So
You also finished first place the previous 2 seasons, and
Yeah.
you weren't gonna finish first with the roster you had at that point. So
yeah,
it's like kind of
Yeah, you start making changes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I learned a lot as a captain from that season.
Yeah.
I learned don't just make trades for the sake of making trades, make trades to make sure that you're fitting the pieces where you need
Yeah,
them to be.
that's
Yeah.
exactly it.
Hint,
Yeah.
hint, hint,
That-
hint.
All right, so let's get to red.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Last but not least here,
Yeah.
Al's red hot.
Very,
Fucking
very,
red.
very well-rounded, good roster.
I think the story of this team is the start of the season.
Start. Yep.
Yeah. So it's in stats, right? And
Yeah,
then
Games report.
games report.
You guys
game
were
report.
2-5, I think, at one point.
So
Yeah, so you see,
1-3, 2-6
yeah,
before you did the trade and started winning.
2-7, no?
Hmm. 2-5.
Overtime losses in between, like those are good games.
Yeah, 2-7, and then it was a 5-game winning streak.
yeah.
And
So
then an overtime loss, and then a 2-game winning streak. So that's points in 8 straight games after, right? So
yes,
and then a
pretty
rare
much
loss.
we went on a pretty good point streak, and then like I think we've only had 3 games since getting Mark that we didn't come out with a point.
oh, actually no, that's it.
two.
Longer. The
It's
point
only
streak
2.
is longer than that. Sorry, it's
Really just the 2 games. It's a 9-1 thrubbing against Green and a 3-1 on Saturday.
So
Every
only
other
2
game.
games that we didn't come out with points.
Look at it. If you look from
Yeah.
game 8 of the season to game 18 of the season, you guys had points in all those games.
Yeah, and then just the 2 losses.
Yeah, so like it made a huge difference. Like we traded someone that we originally drafted as a defenseman, and then we're moving around, and someone who kind of we drafted for our first line, but it didn't end up being a first line guy. And it just like we ended up getting our perfect first line guy who like had something to prove right off the bat, like first shift.
Mark?
Like manhandles Sharif and puts it down for Alex, and Alex scores. Like
Yeah, I could see that happening.
like it's just like he came out swinging. Like
He always does. Mark.
yeah. And
He does. It's true.
so
He always
like,
does. He comes with 100% no matter what. Like,
he's a passionate guy, man.
Yeah.
Like
Now my issue
great
with
guy
you
to play
guys,
against.
the issue I'm having is your attendance, obviously.
yeah. Guys showing up to games late too, and yeah, like I mean you can't complain about too much when like you're in first. Like teams have a game in hand. Like maybe after the holidays we end up in third. Like, but the position we were at the beginning of the season, like even though I'd like guys to show up, you can't complain too much.
Yeah.
you guys are winning what you have.
And I'm
Yeah.
not just talking about regular season and standings here. I'm talking about playoffs also.
And nobody can take it.
Oh, guys are going to show up for sure. Yeah.
with the standings the way they are, nobody can take for granted where they are, right? So everybody has to watch their back, or if you're lower down, you know that you can climb your way back up, right?
Yeah, things can quickly change.
Yeah. There's
But,
still a third of the season left to go.
What's good about you guys is if you choose to, or if you're forced to go high scoring, you can do it.
Yeah.
That's the
And,
versatility. You have a versatile roster in the sense that you have depth and guys that can move around positions as well.
Oh, yeah, no, it's especially that, like, more than people realize. We've got
Yeah.
like a bit of a M. Night Shyamalan twist going on right now. By the end of the season, you'll find out someone's been Bruce Willis this whole time. So it's I'll let you guys know after we stop recording.
The mixed bag.
Yeah, but there's something going on that most people don't see on our team right now, and I think it's a big part of our success. But I'm not gonna blow our secret. But
Are you going to talk to us about it? So we're going to say that's not a secret at all. I don't know. I feel
no.
Pump it up.
But
on
yeah, no,
second line?
guys are doing their roles, and they're doing even more than their roles. So
Who's on your second line technically?
so what I'd like, because we haven't been 10 guys. I'd like to have T and Luger with
you?
me. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because we have 4 defensemen, like before Luger. So
That's your way of
even
telling
though
I would
Luger's
put
been
you
playing
on
D,
D instead of Phil, but maybe
This
you're
is your way of telling Alex what you want in the podcast.
no, like that's been the, like, we've been talking back and forth at work about it there, but and after he was like, yeah, you know what, with a full team, I think it is going to be Luger with you guys. Like when Phil came back from vacation, like there was a moment where it's like he was having his adjustment period where it's like, maybe we put Phil up front with you on the second line, but it's just like he hadn't played in like a month, and a guy got by me, and then like the next game he was fine, and he's been playing good hockey. So yeah, so we've got Boshi, Dave when he's there, Phil, and Craig, who I don't know why he goes where he goes.
Craig's a great pick, man.
Yeah, every time.
Several years.
Like,
I had him pylons. I had him Ron Burgundy's. Like traded for him to get him on Ron Burgundy's, and I was very happy about it.
he's sweetener on deals for sure.
Yeah.
Like,
I got traded with him 2 pylons. Like,
yeah,
nothing but good things to say about Craig. I draft him there every single time.
oh, 100%. I like he's
I
a guy
will
that he always goes there, and he should go earlier.
And I will still forever thank Ole for that trade with Ron Burgundy's. But
Yeah, that was a great trade for us. That was a great trade for us.
Yeah,
Max Beaudry and Butler for Miles and Glenn.
and that was
Beat them in the semis.
And that was all Ole's idea.
Who ended up winning that year?
It ended up being
The
White,
team,
the Steps
so
team White,
That's White team with
Ice Baby.
Oh yeah. Okay.
5 second-round picks on it. Well, Derry and 4 second-round picks on it.
But
Yeah.
also when we got to the finals, both me and Luger had Achilles issues and we were having trouble walking. That didn't help.
We were a little bit beat up, but realistically, we would have won if they didn't have the roster they have.
If you recall, I didn't play at all that summer, right? I took the summer off after that final.
I thought that if we stayed a little healthier that year, because that was great. I was on that year, and we were playing so well short, and then playoffs came, and we were too short, and it just like the wheels fell off.
Yep.
Like we
we were playing well because we went 5 games against Blue, so we had mojo going in against you guys, and then you guys had 7 guys every game. So we just
when Goats got hurt.
Yep.
Like I think he blocked a shot with no chest protector in ice hockey.
Yeah. Sounds like something Goats would do.
How do you play
fractured his sternum, and like we're just like, it's playoffs. Like,
I mean, you still had Majors, which was good, and Charest and Frank Wolf and all that, but
Yeah, when it became like I think it was maybe myself and Majors on D or something
No,
after
you were playing
goats.
forward
Like,
because you scored your goal the game you won.
what's that?
You were playing right
Oh
wing.
yes, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, like like I felt like we were a good team and we just got hurt that
You were
year.
a very good team. You were just short.
Yeah. What can you do?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's about it that I had. I mean, I think we touched on most of it. Who do you guys have for rookie of the year so far?
Depends what your criteria are.
Yeah, it's hard to
I mean,
say,
it's
right?
spirit of the league.
Like
For me,
like
it's a mix of like you can be an awesome player, but you got to have spirit of the league.
Danny Wells on my team is one of the best spirit guys I've ever played with in my life, right? Like you should like talk to anybody that has a conversation with him and how much he loves this league and how much he wants to get involved in things, right? So
For sure, he's a great
There's
guy.
Gio also.
Gio,
Yeah.
I think is a
Gio.
part of the discussion. He's a guy who gets involved.
He's a guy that's going to get lost in the mix because the goalie stats don't jump out to anyone's eyes, and he doesn't score goals. But he's definitely.
No, I think he should be he's a good candidate. It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it's gonna be tough. In this year with all the rookies, I'll pull up the.
I was gonna say, bring up the list. Who is
It's crazy because for once you're like, okay, we won't go off of performance because there's like 10 rookies in the top 15 scorers.
that's the thing is that you have so many rookies that are performing. So
Yeah.
then it all becomes what your criteria is, right?
Yeah, like you can't.
Yeah,
gotta
and
be a
guys
balance.
that I just like, I feel it like it's weird to think of as rookies. Like
Like Manny, Jimmy, Gary. Yeah.
yeah, I'm thinking of
Yeah.
Gary as a rookie. Like it's
Yeah.
weird. Like,
Yeah, but let's look at Gary for instance. 16th in scoring as a rookie defenseman.
yeah,
Puts a mark on every game he plays. He's vocal. He's there. He's fun. He says, you know, like
Yeah,
that.
first
Gary's
rookie to
a
ref.
solid candidate too.
Yep.
But you know, he's old now. Fuck, he doesn't feel like a rookie.
yeah, no,
JP has
exactly.
JP has asked to ref, but I didn't. But I said it's not allowed yet, so I didn't bother. Right? Like,
Yeah.
So like we've got Maddie
You got
and
Darren?
Jamie. Jamie, I think is the stronger of the two candidates. Like Daryl, I don't think is gonna get it, but who else do we got here? I don't have any rookies on my team.
Dylan, I like Dylan too. Plus he's getting
Dylan's
more
going to
and
be a
more involved.
candidate.
Did Dylan show up at rookie night?
Yes, he was
Okay.
there.
Okay, that's
Oh, wow.
that's the biggest factor.
Yeah. Manny's attendance is through the roof despite his team like having a shit run.
Yeah,
You know, Manny has kind of been the guy on that team, right?
Not only kind of like really officially and unofficially.
yeah,
Yeah.
and when things
Yeah.
aren't going well, and he's still showing up when there's only 5 guys,
And
like
trying because like I
that's
played a
not
lot
something
of
I
years
thought
with
you'd
Manny.
see out of Manny. So
No, that's it. I played a lot of years with Manny, and he's given like a very good output for this. I was assuming there's some plays or days that I'd be like, hey, he's gonna get pissed and kind of like roll his eyes at guys, but not even a little bit. Like
Even to the point where I remember him play. I was reffing the game, and he was playing injured, but he played on defense because he can't run up front,
wanted to
right? So
play
he just
still,
played,
yeah.
but he's still
Yeah.
playing. Like that shows the dedication he has to it, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
one of those things.
So
this
showing up
year
and being a
where
part.
Really,
Yeah.
it really, I feel like he should have joined earlier. All those
Yep.
guys.
yeah,
I like
Well,
JP
when it
for,
comes to-
for that group, yeah,
Well, when it comes to Manny, Jimmy, Gary, the group of them, they have been asked to join this league for a long
know.
time, and
Yeah,
always
many times.
and
Very long
always
time now.
hesitated.
Mhm.
I
So,
won a championship with Jimmy Busayas in the A League in 2012, in the summer of 2012. Like, that's how long I've been playing with Jimmy.
That's a long time, even.
Yeah, he's in the NBHL Hall of Fame since before that. Like he's been around. We've had chances to convince him, and like been close friends with Mish now for like 10 years, and we've been telling him, bah, the weekends you guys are crazy. It snowed now.
yeah. I think a factor too is like they all have kids and their kids are older now,
Now they're
so
older, yeah.
it's an easier sell.
Yeah.
Like
Like Lucas.
Now they
Lucas is old enough. Jimmy's kids are pretty much for sure teenagers. Gary's youngest is probably 14 at this point. Like,
yeah, Gary was telling me his son that was in the swimming before, and I was calling him little man.
yeah. Yeah, Chris.
So,
his son
yeah,
Chris
their
will
kids are
play with
getting
us
big,
next
so.
year. He's quite the athlete. Okay. What else? Yeah, I like JP for rookie of the year. Manuk. Not much drinking I haven't seen, but
You know what?
Manuk was the best performer
Manuk
on rookie night.
might be
Oh, yeah.
my
Rookie night, he was the
might
best
be my
performer.
vote.
Oh yeah.
Manuk was there till he was the last rookie standing while sitting, but he was so drunk too. and then he was super drunk, last rookie there, and went out and scored a hat trick the next day.
yeah, but that's like normal for him now.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I think rookie of the year was the last thing on my checklist. Paul, when's the Christmas party we got on the
Christmas party is this Saturday after the games at Duffy's. So we have Duffy's has provided, even though the ad there says a pair of tickets, it's actually 4 tickets for the Canadians versus Devils on January 25th. And as you also see there, Danny's company, Mondo Payments, will be providing pizza for the players at the Christmas party as well.
Yeah, and I don't know about you guys, but I use Mondo Payments for all my payment needs.
He's a class act, that Danny.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll see you guys at the rink this weekend.
Yes,
That
sir.
about wraps it up.
Yes,
And stay tuned for more information about the Naji coming up over the holidays.
Yes, sir. Good talk.
All right.
All right.
Yeah. Thanks,
Have a
Jake.
good night, boys.
You too.
Night, guys.
Bye.